Hi everyone, welcome to this edition of In the Studio. Today we're going to be talking about drum maintenance. Specifically, we'll be replacing the head on this Darbuka. It's a pretty simple process. I'm going to give you a couple of tips on how to expedite the process, as well as give you some basic maintenance ideas that you can apply to all drums to help extend the life of all of your instruments. As always, topics for In the Studio are taken from your suggestions and comments. So if you have an idea, something that you'd like to hear me talk a little bit more about, leave it down in the comments and I'll be sure to add that to the list of topics for future videos. If you have not had a chance to do so already, please go down and subscribe to this channel. It really helps me out, as does giving a like to the video. If you like this content and want to see more of it, please share it with your friends and help us grow this channel so we can spread some more knowledge about drums and percussion all over the world. Without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and replace the head on this instrument. So I fastened that down a little bit. Now you can already see that there's a bit of tension on that already. It's already sustaining a little bit of tone, kind of a good sign. Your head should always resonate as soon as it starts to come into a fixed position, stretched over a resonant body like this. So the next step in our project here is, this is white lithium grease that I just got from the hardware store. And I'm going to do a little bit of routine maintenance on this particular instrument, specifically the lugs and each of the holes in here, to make sure. This is a metal on metal contact, and I'm going to give it just a little bit of lubrication. I use this white lithium grease. Regular lithium grease works fine. White lithium grease is a little bit more light duty compared to the heavier duty dark brown lithium grease, but they both work just fine. It's a little bit messy, so what we're going to do is just take a dollop of it, and I have a little piece of cardboard and paper towel here to just take one small spoonful of this, and I'm going to dab it down on that, right? And I'll leave the spoon there and cover this up so that it does not get contaminated, stays clean for future uses. So now I start on this one. My next round going around, once again, I want to find even tension on there. So that was about a little more than a half turn, but that's like 3/4 of a turn. And this is all based on feel. And you have to practice this a few times in order to feel confident with it. It's a feel thing. You're going to feel the Allen wrench give resistance, and your job is to stop at about the point that each one gives the same amount of resistance. Okay? Now you can still hear, that's still quite low. I want to show you another feature of what's happening here. You see this gap between the shell and the counterhoop is quite wide, and if you can see across the level of the drum thusly, you see that we're going to pull this counterhoop all the way down until it is flush with the bearing edge inside the drum. And that's going to be a very high-pitched sound. If this ridge stays like this, it's an unplayable instrument. Too much ridge like that, you're going to really chew up your fingers terribly. So now we're going to start adding even concentric pressure all the way down, okay? And when I do that, I'm going to start back here at my starting lug, and I move in half-turn increments to start with. Right, so now I have gone all the way around the instrument. I have adjusted the tension evenly onto each lug, and then I brought it down flush with the bearing edge like that. The thing is with a very high quality drum like this is that it just kind of has one tone on it. When you put a new head on it and you bring it all the way down to tension, it generally trues itself. And so it's going to have a very consistent tone all the way around. So kind of giving it a test right here. Very nice, warm doom sound. Very sharp and clear text. Nice sound. It's like having an old friend back. Remember, this is where we started with this guy all tuned out, and now we have a beautiful, very nice, very playable instrument. That's one of the things I like so much about drums from Emin. They are very playable instruments. It's very easy to play. Part of it is the design of the instrument. He made this portion where it rounds up out of the goblet a little bit steeper, and then he quickened the curve right here so it gets over the edge, and that is a little bit more playable, especially for the left hand to come over and find that nice tuck tone. And it's conducive to the Turkish split hand technique. And If you liked this video and want to see more like it, please hit the subscribe button. Visit my website for more information on tours, upcoming performances, and updates on all my projects. Thanks so much, and don't forget to share this video.